Welcome to episode 37 of Why Civilization Started Over. We will be starting back over here with the Green Nation over here, which in the last episode, it went to, it broke out into a civil war after trying to invade this Red Nation, while this Red Nation was at war with this nation here. But, continuing on this civil war, we see the fascist group over here push further along here, as it takes a lot of these provinces along here, and the ones down here, getting over to this major city here. It also starts getting close to the capital, which is not good for the green team, which is the green part is what is the main government, the current government. As for the rebellion over here, it is also growing as it takes this area over here. Eventually the fascists will reach over to it, and the fascists will start invading into it because the fascists want to take over the green team and then take back all the land that the green team used to own. So like this here, this red team here, parts of this country here. But they start pushing in, and the green team will push back against it over here. However, this major city will fall over to the fascist. And this rebellion will be pushed back to just this. However, the fascists and the green team both failed to continue to push into it, so it still survives for now. As for the fascists, they're getting close to the capital. However, the green team does still manage to keep hold of it. And that is all you get for that in this episode. Maybe I'll come back to it later in the episode, but probably not. Heading over to Greece. At the moment, Greece is a constitutional monarchy. And, well, after the World War I, Greece wanted to annex all of Macedonia. However, they only got part of it, and also the A team got some of it, which made the Greeks mad. Along with that, the economy suffered quite a lot from the war, and the people are not happy. And a bold guy will say to the people that he can fix all their problems. He then goes to the king and tells the king to make him prime minister, or he'll make himself prime minister. The king says him and what army, and he reveals, and he says this army, as there's a massive group of people who want him to be prime minister. With this, the king will make him prime minister, and shortly after, he turns the country from a constitutional monarchy into fascism, as he burns the constitution, has the king, he actually kills the king and all of parliament. There. And with that, Greece is now fascist, and shortly after they go fascist, just, like a week later, basically, it is, we see Greek troops start heading into Macedonia. They quickly take this major city and the capital, as Macedonia was not expecting this, and they're incredibly weak after World War I. And the Greeks will push and fully annex Macedonia. with that, Macedonia is dead. It's been here quite a while now. Like, I think since episode 11 or 12 it's been on this map, so... But now it's dead. Speaking of fascist countries, we're heading over here to the first fascist country, the pink Iberian country over here. And in the last episode we saw this country get independence. However, now the pink fascists are invading them. And this country's going to go up to the Green French and say, please help us. And the Green French are like, no, you wanted your independence from us and we gave you that. You don't get our help and to be independent. And basically the reason why the Green French country let this go was it wasn't just this area that wanted independence. Areas in the colonies also wanted independence. So basically Green France knew if they let this go, it would get invaded by the fascist country down here shortly after. So basically said to the colonies that if you want your independence, you're just going to get invaded by others, which if they were to let any of these areas down here get independence, they'd probably get invaded by either Egg or the Dutch. So that was basically their way of saying to their colonies, don't try to rebel. However, this country will fall. And it will get Foyer next. As the pink Iberians now look like this. Anyways, continuing on, we will be heading down to Gorky, which is going to get invaded. No, I'm joking. It's not getting invaded yet. Anyways. Next up, we will be heading over to here, where in the last episode we saw these two countries expand a lot, and they're getting incredibly unstable. However, this blue one here decides that they're not done expanding as they continue to expand along here. And the green team is also like, well, also not done expanding as they expand and take this big piece of land. And, well, these expansions are going to lead to the people not being happy, and some of them will break away, as over here we see this area break away. We also see an area down here break away. And then this breakaway down here actually splits into two. Meanwhile, over here, there's a breakaway up here. And in the green team, there's a breakaway right here that actually takes this major city here. And to the north, we see another breakaway as this country breaks away. And these countries are falling apart as many different areas start to break away. We then see our breakaway right here. And a breakaway over here in this green country. And, well, if things weren't going bad enough for the blue country, we then see a massive breakaway right here that encompasses this major city and also this one here. However, this breakaway is not very stable either, and it will then split in half And the blue country will then get another breakaway up here. The pink team, seeing these breakaways, will decide to go in and get some land as they take this land here from the blue team. I'm just going to color it this instead of coloring it a different shade because because then I'd have to go back to color it in. But anyways, the pink team starts pushing in and takes some land here. Shortly after, another breakaway happens in the blue as this area here breaks away. And then the blue will get one more breakaway as we see, I'm trying to find color, we see this part here break away. Back to the green nation, they're not, it's not going much better for them. They're also in breakaways. One breakaway happens over here. Another one over here. One right here. One down here. There's one that breaks away, but like really poorly as different areas like this break away. And inside of it there's there's another breakaway which between two parts of it. And there's also a breakaway right here between all of these parts. It fully encircles this one here. There's also a breakaway right here. And the final breakaway for the green team is this pretty big one right here. And, well, that's what happens when you expand a lot really quickly. Everything breaks away. Tell me, what's your opinion on this one here that's like got 4 different parts all separated? Do you love it or do you hate it? Do you want to see it dead in the next episode? Or do you want to see it, alive in the next episode? Anyways, capital-wise, your capital will be there. Yours there. Yours there. Yours there. Yours there. Yours there. Yours there. You don't have one yet, so yours can be right there. Yours can be there. 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 Yours is going to be right there. And then yours will be there. Gray teams is going to be in the middle. This blue countries will have theirs there. And this blue country will have theirs right there on the border between this part of the blue country and that. The red teams will have theirs there. This orange country will have theirs over here, and this green country will have theirs up here. This one here will have the capital there. And this one here will have the capital there. Oh, this one here needs a capital still right there. I think I got them all capitals now. That's a mess now. Anyways, speaking of messes, let's go up here to these islands here. So, these islands here are controlled by the Norwegian, or the Nordic Union. I don't know why I said Norwegian. This is the Nordic Union, not Norway. they're controlled by it, but it's more so just they have ships going all around it, and this is a massive prison that they throw prisoners on. And these prisoners, kind of make their own groups of other prisoners and like their own, I guess, countries. So you know what? Let's just show the countries that they're all up here. So I'm not going to give any of them capitals because they're uh all kind more so like they're all not like real countries as they don't have control over themselves. But here are the prisoner countries up here, I guess. They're all really small. They're like prison gangs, I guess. But like the people in these will just kill each other, and the Scandinavian Union doesn't really care because, well, they're all prisoners that the Scandinavian Union doesn't like, who are just freezing to death while they kill each other. You know what, let me get a certain color for this next one. This next one is led by a familiar face. It's over here. This is the old dictator of Germany before World War One and during World War One. So there we go. This area here that's still the Scandinavian color, that's kind of like where the guards are, and like if any of these countries, and like if one of these countries was to invade here, then they would face the wrath of the entire military um of the Nordic Union. Anyways, this one here also has some. It has one here that goes along like that, and also has a sound here. And then there's a big one on this island, on the rest of the island here. So like if a boat was to go between these two islands of prisoners, or this island and this island, then Scandinavian Union's not going to do much, or Nordic Union's not going to do much, but like if a boat was to like head out from here and go down here into one of these islands here, then, well, it would be shot and sunk. But anyways, continuing on, as I mentioned earlier, some of Green France's colonies wanted independence. However, it's not just Green France. A lot of the colonies down here want independence, and a lot in other continents want independence. And one country is actually going to grant their colony independence, and that is actually going to be Ireland, who is going to give their colony some independence as they release their colony over here. With this, they need a capital, and their capital will be right here. So Ireland has given their colony over here independence. They will keep control of New Zealand for now. And there's actually another country planning to give their colonies independence, and that is actually I zoomed way too far in there. That's actually Portugal, or Ugo is that what they're called over here, is planning to give their colonies down here. There's actually multiple colonies, kind of like how the British had the 13 colonies over here. This is multiple colonies that are all colonies of Ural. But Ural is planning to give these colonies independence, but we'll have to wait till the next episode to see that. Continuing on, though, in this episode, we are going to be heading up here where, looking at this, we see we have a dictatorship here, monarchy here, oligarchy here, monarchy here. Well, the dictator wants some land. So what does the dictator do? They look at their neighbors, and they choose one to invade. And they choose the one over here, and they push in. They get to the capital pretty quickly, as it falls quickly. Soon after, this country will collapse, and, well, they will get fully annexed by the purple country here. Anyways, with that, we can remove the capital over here. The blue country is not a fan of this, and they start putting troops on the border between them and the purple country. Meanwhile, over here, we will see this blue country here expand, if I can get the right layer. As they expand into this area here, taking all of this, we will also see these two countries up here do some expansion. This one will expand into this area here, and also out along here. As for the orange one, they will expand here and up throughout here. With them now looking like this. Speaking of countries expanding, we will be seeing this pink one over here do some more expanding as they expand north and take all of this here. We will also see them expand along here, taking all of this. And up here, we will see this country here do some more expanding as they explore further into Russia, exploring all of this. They also discover these up here. And I think this gray here might be this, and some over here is basically what's left on the map. So within the next few episodes, we might see this map get fully cleared. We'll also see some exploration by these countries over here into Russia more. But anyways, this red country here will then expand a bit. They don't have much of a population because, well, this is all freezing and all the population lives down here, but they can take this for some natural resources. They also take these islands here. They also discover like all these islands along here. Anyway, so the next area that we are heading to is none other than, what am I heading to again? Next area we're heading to is, I did not mean to zoom in, over here to this red country here. Now, after all the collapse, they became a democracy. However, the election results have come in, and a fascist candidate has turned the entire country, the entire world fascist, because I was on the long layer. But the fascist candidate has won, and this country is now fascist. As they start building up the military, but they won't invade anyone yet. Coming down here, though, we're going to see Yoyland decide that they want more of this country up here. This country up here is an incredibly old country. It's been here since before episode 10. However, now they're getting invaded by Yoyland. I think get the tolerance down enough. The capital falls. And as this happens, we see the fascist country over here. If you forgot in the last episode, this country here went fascist. I'll also start pushing in as I take this province here. The rest of this will fall over to Yoyland, and the tree will be pretty simple. As the fascist country here gets this province here, and the rest will go to Yoyland, so like that. And with that, we can remove the capital, so with that, a very old country has died. And Yoyland is looking huge. I give power updates. That's gonna be the last thing that I do is power updates, so let's do that. If I can find the right layer. That layer. No, that's not it. That's the city layer. This is it. So, power updates, let me just remove the numbers on here as they're incredibly outdated. Anyways, the strongest country in the world is still the Indonesian country down here. The second strongest country in the world is still Egg over here. That's not one. Third is still the Nordic Union. Fourth is the Dutch. Fifth is... Wait, I forgot this 5 here. You're not fifth. You lost a war. But anyways, fifth is going to go to Green France. Sixth will go to Yoyland. Seventh will go to this country here. Eighth will go to Cyprus. The ninth strongest country in the world is... Who would 9 be? Ninth is going to go to... I'm going to give ninth to the Southeast Asian Union. And 10th will go to... Who will 10th go to? There's a few different countries you can go to. Japan, Scotland, maybe, Greece? No, probably not Greece. I think we'll give 10 to Scotland. And then 11th, if anyone is curious, is Japan. 12th is probably Yugo. Then 13th, I would say, is Greece, maybe. Or maybe Caspia. One of them is probably 13, unless there's a country I'm forgetting about. Oh, I forgot about down here, U. This is actually probably 13th, and then 14th would be either Greece or Caspia or some country. Maybe Crimea, maybe there. 14th. Anyways, though, that's where this episode is going to end. So, thank you for watching, and goodbye.